Material Comics Podcast. That's Mark Radlich. I am Jesse Starcher. We have returned to put an end to the trilogy. That's right. We're putting up. We've
decided to put an end to comic books. one podcast at a time.
Tell you, this one we're getting ready to talk about, it could make somebody go, I'm done. Never gets any better than this. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but that's all right, because we're here to talk about Dynamite's Gwar, Orgasmageddon. Mark Radlich, you sit there and you tell me about Gwar first off, and then we're going to talk about why you got this comic.
Gwar are an intergalactic group of mercenaries and killers and monsters that decided to form a rock band. And like Santa Claus, they come through Earth every once in a while and they perform their songs and they spray the crowd with various colored semen.
Oh my gosh.
From the codpiece of doom or some shit that they call it. Can you, I don't know if you can play it into the thing, but can you please just grab Pat Gesner's fucking TikTok band pitching Gwar?
Oh, I'll do it.
Okay, Gwar, thanks for finally meeting with us in person. So, for starters, the fuck? Right, the costumes. Well, let me explain. We're Gwar. We're from outer space, relocated to Antarctica, and we tour around with a giant puppet show where we kill dinosaurs, spray bodily fluid into the crowd, and do a whole bunch of crazy crap. So it's more than the costumes, there's a puppet show? Yeah, it's like the Muppet Show if they had zero budget and wanted to cartoonishly murder the president in every episode. I think I know the answer to this, but how did you guys come up with this idea? Drugs. Right, so it's just violence 24/7, that's your whole shtick? Well, a lot of our imagery is going to be hypersexualized too, and we're just going to fill the stage with tons of dicks. Inflatable dicks, puppeteer dicks, and we're going to have a giant codpiece on our singer called the Cuttlefish of Cthulhu. This sounds like a parody porn. It kind of is, but with slightly better acting. We've even got a movie script for something called Phallus in Wonderland.
Yes, they do.
If you can make this work, I say more power to you, but... Oh my god, I never asked you. Is your music any good? Good enough, but there's a 10-foot dick on stage. I don't think anybody cares. Right, that was a stupid question.
I saw Gwar with the Kelsey and her pet boy, Chris. The whole point of me telling you all of that was there was no 10-foot dick on stage. I was very upset. Now, I got came on a lot. Various colors. By the president.
Oh, the president did that.
Yeah,
okay.
there was an abortion, a puppet abortion on stage. Got covered in blood. That was fantastic. What I'm trying to explain to you, Jesse, in vascular detail, is there was no 10-foot dick on stage. Let me tell you, I picked this book because of the title, Orgasmageddon, and there was a lot more geddon than there was orgasm, and that also disappoint.
Yeah. This book does not disappoint in any way. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was the disappoint.
That was it. That was
the rest of it. The actual book. Look, I was having a good old time with this one. This was easily my favorite story of the three that we've done.
Oh, absolutely. As far as bands go, this is easily the best band to base a comic off of, and it doesn't
besides
hurt.
Kiss, yeah, it's like Kiss and Gwar.
It doesn't hurt that in the beginning of Gwar's legacy. Now, mind you, I was able to watch a documentary because I love this comic so much. I was like, I need to learn more about these guys. And I remember hearing about this. I needed to learn more about this band. And let me set the stage for you. Little Jesse Starcher was absolutely frightened and horrified of the stories I heard about Gwar when I was a kid. I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to buy a Gwar tape. I'm never going to buy a Gwar CD. I'm going to be corrupted. This is one of those bands that had such notoriety for being so obscene that I wouldn't be caught dead listening to this band. But then I start reading this comic and I'm like, when you pitched it, I was like, okay, well, I don't know much about Gwar. I can't even say if I've ever listened to one of their songs. I just knew of the legacy. I just knew of the band through what I'd seen and heard through, just people talking about it. MTV was, it was Beavis and Butthead talking about a Gwar video. Right. That's about all I knew. I just knew it was this over-the-top, band that was killing people on stage, potentially. That's what I heard when I was a kid. People were getting killed on stage.
Straight up murdering people?
Yes.
Nice.
I thought that's what was happening. I was like, how are they getting away with stuff like this? We get this comic and I'm like, okay.
Oh, wait, Jesse, if you think Gwar was killing people on stage, have you not heard of the Genitorturers?
You may have actually brought them up at some point.
I'm sure I have when we were talking about ministry or some shit.
I know Jen. She's good people.
The Kelsey knows the Genitorturers. Anyway, you look up some Genitorturer videos and don't do it in front of your children.
Okay.
Or anyone that cares about you. There's a lot of BDSM.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so I jump into the comic and I'm like, oh, look at these guys. Oh, okay. So each one of these is like this crazy character. And then I start putting it together. Oh, that's right. That's what Gwar is. Each one of these members have some type of crazy personality, along with a bunch of makeup and effects and things. And then you take that person and you put them in a comic and you make them real. It's perfect. It really is. Like, you make that character a person in a comic book. They can do everything that they literally can't do on stage.
Listen, I'm gonna need you to do all kinds of sexual and vile things. I can't. What if you wear a costume? Oh, that's different then. I need a Gwar meets Lobo comic.
Oh my goodness. It's perfect.
Yes.
Again, it's perfect. And it's interesting that this is another 2017 comic. All of these comics that we've talked about based on bands all released in 2017. This was published in 2017 as well. Dynamite Entertainment was the publisher, written by Matt McGuire and Matt Miner, and there's some other little stories here that I'll talk about some of the creative team, additional creative team. Art by Jonathan Brandon Sawyer. From the depths of outer space to the frozen wasteland of Antarctica, punk rock and heavy metal's most shocking and blasphemous, yes, that's what I thought of, blasphemous,
Sure.
band of intergalactic blood-spewing alien monsters has returned to kill everything and respect nothing in the pages of Gwar Orgasmageddon. Banished to the past by the cold and calculating Mr. Perfect, the heroes of Gwar trample through time like a deranged Bill and Ted on bath salts. Love it. Our antics ensue as they stomp and smash and shape human history to what we accept as our current reality. Co-written by Gwar themselves and Matt Miner, Gwar Orgasmageddon is a love letter to comics, grindhouse movies, and heavy metal, sure to appeal to the most diehard fan of the comics, fanboy/fangirl, intrigued by the prospect of social awareness drowned in geysers of blood and alien goo. I open up this comic and I'm like, I've got to learn more about this band. And I remember seeing that there was a documentary. So it came out in 2021. It's titled This Is Gwar, and it lays out there the history from where Gwar started, its roots, all the way up to the death of, was it Dave Brocky? I want to say is his name. Yeah, Dave Brocky. And a little bit after that, some of the exploits of the band and what happened, and of course the public perception. It's a great documentary. The reason I'm bringing that up is that the roots of Gwar are also tied with comics, because they wanted to do comic books, take these characters, and they were like, why don't let's take this to the stage. They merged the two, and I think it's a great marriage. Now, in this book, there are some crazy things that happen. Again, look, I guess go ahead on the check, the checklist, Jesse Starcher. Is time travel involved? That's a plus. That's a plus.
It's automatically the best book you've ever read.
It's a plus. Let me tell you about the stories that happen in this, which it's kind of a nice format. There's one big, long, overarching story, which is covered by the synopsis I just gave there, where they're essentially going back in time. They're running into some trouble in this big penis-shaped ship that they have. They're going through these different eras. They're back in the Stone Age era. They're in the 90s. They're in it's just all over the place.
Okay, so
and they've got
the thing with the fire was totally like a Mel Brooks thing to me, like a history of the world kind of thing, where it's just like they're trying to teach them how to invent fire, and like somebody pulls out a fucking lighter or some shit. Right. Great.
So, and essentially they've got to try to defeat their mortal enemy. And apparently this is the guy that killed Odorous Urungus. And I assume this happened in the comics. I don't know if this is like it's a stage production or whatever, but obviously after Dave passed away, they had to retire the Odorous character. There was this being called Mr. Perfect that apparently had killed him, and he's the one that's kind of like the thorn in their side and giving them all sorts of problems. And what a weird concept this guy has, where he is like he exists in every time period all at the same time. Very strange stuff. But again, that's not what this comic is about. This comic is about the members of Gwar going around and fucking history up really bad. And then we have these other side stories like the Gwar Slave Follies. Those are out there. Ex-Cop's Zipper Pig, which is a weird story where it was pretty much the origin of something called the Ex-Cops. This was written by Bob Gorman, which was a member of Gwar.
This was so much fun to read. Again, not a particularly deep comic, but it kind of reminded, it's juvenile, but juvenile for smutty adults.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it kind of reminded me of like the New Lieutenants of Metal, like that tenor. a lot of sex jokes in there. Like I sent you the one screenshot of the guy with like the 4 dicks. It's just like, you know, like this is gonna be terrible for you, and I'm gonna last like 20 seconds. I can't remember what the whole line is, but it was really funny when he said it. It's like the perfect mix of like hypersexuality and science fiction and just comic book nuttiness. It's really funny. And like the Gwar characters all work well together because again they're like dumb Avengers, you know. And it's like, so the way this lent itself to utilizing the comic book format in the best way. It's light, it's silly, it's hypersexual, it's violent. You know, like I was laughing while I was reading it and having a good time with it. And then when I was done, I was like, I would read more Gwar comics. Like a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Iron Man, Legacy of the Beast. I'm like, there's more of those out there. And I'm like, I don't care. And I'm not interested in playing the video game. Let the Kelsey can play the video game. I'm not going to play the video game. Legacy of the Beast. You know, and then Repentless, like we talked about that. And it was like, you know, I did it for the show. I did it because I'm a Slayer fan, but no interest beyond that. This, I would read more Gwar comics. Like there's a bunch out there. I would like, what are the further adventures of Gwar? What else are they doing in the world? Like, if you didn't know this was a band, I would just read this because these are fun characters to read about. Yeah,
let me give you the breakdown of the characters here real quick. There's Blothar. I'm just reading this off the page. Blothar, lead singer, lead ego, kills everything, hates everyone, especially you. Ballsack, the jaws of death. Guitar, always.
That's what they call me at the swinger house. Ballsack, the jaws of death.
Guitar, always enhanced, screened by the TSA, the smartish one. Jizmac Dagusha, drummer, easily distractive, hyperactive drummer. Postulus Maximus, guitar, proactive, before model, in constant horrible agony. Then we have Beefcake the Mighty, bass guitar, peaked when inventing music.
I went to a wrestling show at the Nassau Coliseum and heard Beefcake. We saw Beefcake wrestle Triple H.
That's right. Always snacking. And then Bone Snapper the Cave Troll, Gwar's bodyguard, dumb by even Gwar standards. And then we have Sleazy P Martini, Gwar's manager and drug supplier. Sleazy P Martini, Gwar's manager and drug supplier.
Isn't that what they used to call you, you know, on your 90s podcast, Sleazy P?
Sleazy P. Do not be surprised at the next TV party tonight. The old StreamYard name is going to be Sleazy P, right down there at the bottom. Gwar's manager and drug supplier, too cool for this fucking book. In this book, they could do all the crazy stuff that Gwar does on stage and make it seem real. I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, Sleazy P is taking a shotgun to one of the fans in the front row.
I mean, okay. Who hasn't wanted to take a shotgun to fans?
Right. There's a couple of ladies that are running around here, too. One of them, I think, has been with the band for quite a while. Slymenstra Hyman.
Yes.
She's the mistress of the unplumbed depths, Mark Radlich. And then her friend, Estragina Lugubrious, Gwar Girl, Slymenstra's companion. Then we have Mr. Perfect. Absolute tool, exists in all time periods simultaneously. This fucker needs
Isn't that
to
Vandal Savage?
Everybody has this cool look. This is a very over-the-top bloody band. This book has some of the brightest colors when you look at it. It's very bright. It's kind of cheery. But
again, it reminded me of the New Lieutenants of Metal.
There's a couple moments throughout this book as they're flying through time, which I think is really cool and sets this book off. One of which is when Sleazy P Martini shows up at Kurt Cobain's house. So Sleazy shows up at Kurt Cobain's house, and they go back to the 90s, and they find Sleazy, and Sleazy is knocking on this door, and he busts in, and he goes, "I depend on your habit, you fucking junkie. Who you getting your smack from?" And then Kurt looks and says, "Hi, Sleazy. I was just writing a song about this awesome puppy I met while," and then Sleazy fucking blows his brains out.
That's what happened, Jesse. He didn't commit suicide. Totally got killed by Sleazy P. Only in real life, he was paid by Courtney Love.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, as the Gwar members look on, they go, "Wow, I always thought it was Courtney." And the guy, I think it's Postulus, goes, "Nope, this is how it happened. Mystery solved. Let's get back to the meat rocket." So, yeah. The other cool moment that happens in this book is when they run into the old members of Gwar in 97, which I thought was great. You know, this book is being told in present time where Odorous has died, and Flatus Maximus, I think is his name, he's also passed away. He was a member of the band. So their characters aren't around anymore, and they kind of run into themselves in the past, and it's really cool because the band kind of gets this moment where they get to talk to their dead leader, which is really neat. We get the main overarching story, which is great. The whole Zipper Pig stuff, I don't know much about Zipper Pig. I don't know much about history, and I don't know much about Zipper Pig either. It's kind of weird. You get this origin about this guy who apparently catches on fire and then is thrown into a insane asylum. Just very strange. The slave pit follies, or the slave follies, were funny sometimes. It's just from what I understand, reading this or watching the documentary, there were these guys that always helped out with the costumes and getting the effects and stuff right, and they were called the Gwar slaves. And they said that at some points that they would treat them like slaves. It would be pretty rough. But anyway, so they based the whole slave pit follies off of those guys as well. And some of these are reprints from really old Gwar comics too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, overall, I mean, this thing really kicked a lot of ass. I think there is,
yeah, for sure.
There's precedent here that I would definitely go back and find or read some of the old stuff. The writer here did a good job of, just keeping us entertained. Essentially, I mean, it was entertaining all the way through, in my opinion. And there were so many there were fart jokes in this thing. There were plenty of penis jokes, plenty of just stuff that's normally taboo in a comic, and they didn't care. And I think that's what Gwar's all about. You said you wore a white shirt to the show, right?
Yes, it says something like "Say maybe to drugs."
Say maybe to drugs. And I assume you did not wash said shirt after it got
all right. So everyone was like, "You'll be fine if you just put it and you just bake it in the dryer. It'll bake all the liquid into the shirt, and so when you do wash it, it'll still maintain the color." No, I washed that shit perfectly white now.
Oh, that is a bummer, dude. Skimming through this book, just some of the brutality. There's a point where Slimenstra and her friend run into this German guy, and they reach down his pants and pull off his fucking penis and nutsack.
Our podcasts are totally circular because that's how we started this, pulling off people's red penises.
How did we know? They rescue Hitler's dog and take it with them.
Yes. Yeah, they go into Hitler's bunker. Yeah, Ava Braun, and she's just like, oh, he has such a small penis. It's just like going out of their way.
Bath salts, eat them up, yum. So they give her a bunch of bath salts. She turns to this hulking monster and shoves a flagpole up Hitler's ass.
I feel like bath salts
comic.
I feel like bath salts though really dates this comic. We couldn't just give him LSD, or cocaine or something.
The big sea monster when they get transported back to the Titanic,
or some shit.
The crack hunt.
That was fantastic. I almost sent you that picture.
Oh my God. Well, same here. I was like, I don't want to spoil this for Mark. I know he's getting ready to go into this, but this big sea monster shows up. And what would have been great, they had a missed opportunity. There should have been a scene or a page in this book where they flew the ship straight into the Kraken's mouth.
Yep.
Big penis right now. I mean, why not? That is Gwar all the way.
Yes, sir.
Oh, dude, you can't really do the book justice. I will just tell people, look, you get a chance, go out there and find this. You're going to be entertained. If you're a fan of Gwar or not, I think this is probably one of the better humor comics, and I mean adult humor when it comes to adult humor. This is up there for me. They called them funny books for a reason back in the day. This is a funny book. This is not your regular old.
This is a very funny book.
This is not Baby Thanos. No. This isn't Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is a funny book, and you need to take the opportunity and read this, because provided you can get past the crass humor and that doesn't offend you at all, trust me, this book is offensive. You're going to have a good time reading it. So,
yes, sir.
Mark Radulich, we did it. We have successfully completed the trilogy.
Yep.
What do you got on the schedule here, Mark Radulich?
Well, it's the year of our Lord 2023 on June 12th, don't you understand? Assuming things go according to plan, time travel. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow, we'll be doing a Damn You Hollywood for Transformer Rise of the Beasts. The Beast, from Iron Maiden.
I hope Eddie does have a cameo in the Transformers.
And I hope he transforms.
Get ready for that variant in your mobile game. Well, for myself, you can check out the Source Material Comics feed, where myself, Mark Radulich, have talked 2 previous books, merging comic books and metal. And that's Iron Maiden, Legacy of the Beast, and Slayer's Repentless. We had a good time on both of those, and we hope you had a good time here. You can also check out the Unspoken Issues podcast, dealing primarily with 90s comics. We will have all sorts of great stuff in the archive for you to check out there. G.I. Joe Extreme, Grifter One Shot. Huh? Yeah, Angela. That's right. For Mark Radulich, I'm Jesse Starcher. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us. All of this would not be possible without W2Mnet.com, so make sure to seek them out for more podcasts. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please feel free to share, and we look forward to entertaining you again soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unspoken. Nope, that's the wrong podcast.
Motherfucker. Care about is your 90s friend. You don't give a shit about me.
You don't do art for me, for my YouTube videos. All right. This is the one where I'm just going to fly by the seat of my fucking ass.
Sounds great. Hit it, Darren. No, you want TikTok.
Do I have to?
No.
I'm sure it's going to be, as a matter of fact.
It's not.
Send me the link.
I'm going to send you. Just like you send me, I'm going to send you.
Send it to me. There it is.
Like, I fucking give you these fucking like time constraints, and then like I'm utterly distracting. Do you like that?
That was great.
Do you like that? No, not you. I know you liked it.
Slimenstra Hyman, Gwar woman, mistress
my wife's about to have her Slimenstra Hyman next week. I could keep making jokes, but I won't.
Please. Right. Big penis ship.
By the way, we are way hungover and like way messed up and like, you know, and everything. So my wife just got out of bed, and the first thing she hears me say after I ask her, did I miss anything, is ripping off red penises. And she just looks at me. She's like, why? Why? Every time you and Jesse, why? Can't you guys talk about anything normal? And the answer is no. You can check out the Mark. No, you can't. Let me try this again.